A couple Rocko's Modern Life episodes might be hinting at what happens in Static Cling. Alright, so what's going on, everybody? Blood Moon Bobby here, checking out the latest trailer for Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling. I've probably done the most research for a trailer discussion for this video, more than in any other, mainly because I really wanted to get a really good understanding of the events prior to Static Cling. There may actually be there's a bit of continuity going into Static Cling that I'll get into later on in this trailer discussion. So before I start rambling, let's get into it. So, yeah, it's funny how I said, why is Rocko's house flying in space? If you've seen one of the final episodes of Rocko, you'll know why.
I don't think we're in the 90s anymore.
And just like we've seen in the previous trailers, they're definitely not in the 90s anymore. 3D printed comic, O-phones. I'm still waiting for the O-phone 100 and 3D movies.
The 21st century is a very dangerous
And here is
century.
the new stuff.
I want to find some episodes of the Fatheads.
That's been off the air for years.
This show is all I have.
We're going on an epic quest to find the great Ralph Bighead.
Let's
Yep.
go.
Straight from the I Have No Son episode of Rocko.
Why don't you go back to the 90s where you belong?
Oh, that wind came out of the wrong end.
Obligatory fart joke, I guess you could say. Okay, so yes, once again, a really, really funny Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling trailer. I've seen it. Let's actually stop on a really good frame. And we'll get to Ralph Bighead in a second. Could I actually stop on a frame where you see Rocko's house is, there's a rocket attached to it. And I spent today watching several Rocko's Modern Life episodes. I've seen a few episodes of the show before, news of Static Cling came out, but I've heard that couple of the episodes might actually connect to Static Cling, and if you've seen some of these episodes, I'm about to go over the ones I watched right now. So I'll actually start off, since this is the first thing you see in this particular trailer. The first thing you see is Rocko's house attached to some kind of a rocket, and I wonder, what is that? Like, if you've never seen the show, you're probably assuming, oh, it's just something they made up for the special. Like, I initially thought it was just the kind of thing where it's like, oh, Rocko, Filbert, and Heifer have been like up in space for 20 years, herp de derp. Well, I actually think it might be connected to one of the very last episodes made of Rocko's Modern Life, and it is called Future Schlock. Now, I'm not going to get into full details into what happens in Future Schlock, but basically what happens in that episode is Rocko and Heifer are chasing after the space monkey, and they actually wind up getting in this rocket ship, and the rocket ship sends them to 17 years in the future, where they meet an aging Filbert. And in the end of the episode, it looks like they're gonna stay in the future, but actually what happens is Filbert's kids gets their hand on the rocket you see here, the red rocket, and it crashes into Rocko's house, and now it's setting off for space. And that was one of the last Rocko episodes made, so I'm kind of wondering, and I think a lot of, especially diehard Rocko fans who've seen Rocket Schlock are probably thinking that, oh, it might be connected in some way, which is really weird, because the Rocko's Modern Life episodes, as far as I know, I haven't seen nearly as much Rocko's Modern Life as I have with Invader Zim. They usually don't have like a really strong continuity, so it's just kind of interesting thing to point out. And the other thing too that I noticed is, you might have noticed in this trailer, Rocko mentions that he wants to bring back a show called The Fatheads, where it's actually paused on a really funny frame. And that comes from an episode, I Have No Son. And basically, in that episode, the idea is, you could see, if you've never seen the Fatheads before, it's basically these two really ugly characters that beat each other up with parking meters. That episode had some really funny slapstick. And basically what happens in the episode is, you can see this character here. This is Ralph. big head. The big heads, as you could probably guess, as are basically what inspired the fat head. And basically what happens is the reason is because Ralph has a very rocky relationship with his parents, the big heads, and that's why basically he portrays them as this really, aggressive couple that's always fighting and always hitting each other or with parking meters. And the reason they have this turmoil is because what happened is Ralph wanted to be, an animator. He wanted to be a cartoonist. His mom said that he wanted to be a painter when he was a kid, but that was at odds with his father, Mr. Big Head, and because Mr. Big Head wanted his son to join him at a major corporation. It was called the Conglomo Corporation, I guess short for conglomerate. But yeah, so basically what happens in that episode is Mrs. Big Head, it basically sends off Rocko to Hollywood, not Hollywood, so that he could bring Ralph back in time for the Big Head wedding anniversary. His parents, the Big Head's wedding anniversary. So he goes there. He takes Filbert with him to his animation studio, literally called Big Head Studios, and tries to get him to come back home in time for his parents' wedding anniversary. And the thing about Ralph is that he's a very he was initially really resistant to the idea of going home. He kept on saying, "I'll never go back, never, 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 never." But eventually he turns around in the end because he does want to patch things up with his parents, especially his father. So it's kind of interesting that that it seems like Static Cling, and who knows, things could change, seems to have connections to prior Rocko's Modern Life episodes. It does kind of have me a little concerned about what happens, if newcomers watch it and they may not get, that there's really, a connection there. But I do hope people could be able to watch this movie, find whether they're newcomers to Rocko's Modern Life or if they have been lifelong fans themselves. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the episodes, but I'm just like, ooh. But if you really want to get the idea, it seems like you may want to watch the 2 episodes I mentioned in this video, Rocket Schlock and I Have No Son, to really get an idea of who's Ralph Big Head and why is a rocket, why have Rocko and his friends been, floating in space all these years? I'm even wondering, are we going to see Filbert's kids in Static Cling? Because I might have mentioned this before, but the reason I bring that up is because it's Filbert's kids that are driving that rocket that crashed into Rocko's house, and that's why they're flying in space. So I'm very curious to see if we're going to see Filbert's kids in this Static Cling movie. It gets me curious as to what exactly what are they going to do in terms of the plot of this movie, going back to Ralph Big Head, because I just can't imagine them doing just a rehash of I Have No Son. There's no way it's going to be like that. Maybe, I mean, obviously the main difference this time is maybe it won't have as much of the parental turmoil this time, because the idea, at least based on this trailer, is Rocko wants to bring back the Meet the Fatheads. There you go. I got the name of the show, the full name of the show, as I'm recording, and he wants to bring back the Meet the Fatheads show. And of course he's going to need Ralph Big Head's help to do it because he's the creator of the show. So it does get me curious. So is it basically going to be a mix of Rocko he's probably going to go back to Hollywood. Judging by the limo in the background, it kind of looks like maybe this time Ralph is actually going to, be driven, back home to O-Town to, meet up with his family. And I don't know, it's interesting because you would think, if he's just going to make more episodes of Meet the Fatheads, then he'll just stay in Hollywood and, he won't have to come home to do that. So it gets me kind of wondering, what else could be in store. Is there going to be some element of his parents being involved, because they do show a little snippet where, he hugs his parents, and, as you could see, his dad especially seems really happy to see him. So, gets me curious what's going on. And of course, I mean, thinking about it now, it seems like the two things that we can definitely expect to see in the special is you're going to see Rocko try to convince Ralph to bring back Meet the Fatheads, and then you're going to see the satire, what Rocko's Modern Life has always done in its original one, which is basically satirize the modern world, except this time, we're going to see 21st century things. Like, you're going to see things like the O-phones and buzz books and 3D printed comics and 3D movies that beat the crap out of you. So, that's another thing we can expect. And in a sense, it's kind of symbolic of, this Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling, because this movie coming out is basically, Rocko's Modern Life coming back, even if it is just for one movie. So I'm very curious to see, what they're going to do differently this time. And I do think, there's definitely enough information there. There's definitely enough information for me to be sold on, the premise of Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling. But there's still, definitely quite a bit, a bit of mystery that, we still don't understand. And, I mean, obviously, I'm trying my best to predict what's going to happen in Static Cling, but there's still definitely a lot of territory that has to be explained, and we're gonna see in the movie. What we see, Filbert's kids again, is the rocket being attached to Rocko's home. Is it going to be connected to the Future Schlock episode? And what are they going to do differently this time with Ralph Bighead? I mean, another thing that I should point out too is that Ralph doesn't exactly have the best, I wouldn't exactly call him a friend of Rocko's. Like, I could definitely see him, helping him out and bringing back, Meet the Fatheads. That's also probably why, if you remember in one of the earlier, like, really short teasers for Static Cling, you saw Rocko, shout on the news, "I just want my show back!" I actually first thought that, is he breaking the fourth wall, and he's referring to, Rocko's Modern Life, but it sounds like he's more so referring to Meet the Fatheads. So, that's probably what's going on. So there's still definitely, a lot of mystery to it. It is good, it is good, obviously, that, they're not going to spoil, everything in these trailers. That's obviously what's going to grab a lot of people, to come and watch, Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling when it comes out. I mean, I'm definitely going to check it out. I definitely plan to review this movie when it comes out. I'm excited. Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling comes out on August 9th on Netflix, right before Invader Zim Enter the Florpus. So please let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your favorite Rocko's Modern Life episode. I've definitely seen, my share of episodes, like I've seen, and I'll read them out here from my iPad. Like I've seen in Carnival Knowledge, I've seen in Skid Marks, I've also seen I Have No Son and Future Schlock, and I just remember I did see the one where, Rocko was going on an airplane and those. But let me know your favorite episodes. Let me also know if there may be other episodes connected to this movie that I may want to check out before it gets released. So, yeah, so please let us know in the comments. Until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you guys for watching. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this Blood Moon Bobby video. Like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and feel free to leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell to get notified when I release my latest videos. Follow me at Blood Moon Bobby on your favorite social media platforms to take part in polls, see my tech tips, and to hear about my video plans. Thanks for watching.